From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, June 5th. A beautiful day in store, mostly sunny and pleasantly cool this morning at a low of 57 and a high this afternoon of 85. Authorities are searching for whoever shot 3 people at Lawrence Community Park. So far, police haven't made any arrests. It all unfolded late last night. Police say they found all 3 victims shot at about 10:15. 2 of them suffered graze wounds and were treated at the scene before being released. The 3rd victim, a woman, was shot in the leg and went to the hospital. Police say she will survive her injuries. Detectives think the shots were fired as a large group of people gathered at the park. Right now, no specific details have been provided regarding the reason behind the incident or who fired the shots. Lawrence police are urging anyone with information to come forward and contact them or Crime Stoppers. Officials say a Boone County councilwoman is dead after being found unresponsive in her swimming pool. Investigators say first responders arrived at Marcia Wilhoit's home just before 2 yesterday afternoon. According to investigators, medics took her to a local hospital where they pronounced her dead. Investigators say they do not suspect foul play. Wilhoit served as the council's vice president. It's not clear when an autopsy could determine how Wilhoit died. An IMPD detective and a Lawrence firefighter faced domestic battery charges this morning. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office says deputies were called to a home on Marina Court in Greenwood just after 11 Friday night. That's near State Road 135. Police arrested 37-year-old Lawrence firefighter Joseph Gurley and 33-year-old IMPD detective Katie Gurley, who both lived there. IMPD hasn't released details about what happened, only saying it found probable cause to make an arrest. Both have posted bond and have been released from jail. IMPD says Katie Gurley is on administrative leave as it reviews the case. And today, Ivy Tech Community College plans to hold a public hearing on proposed tuition and mandatory fees for the 2023 through 25 school years. The proposed tuition increase is nearly 6% for 2024 and nearly 5% for 2025. Ivy Tech says tuition and fees will actually decrease for 66% of students. The college says it found other ways to cut costs like textbooks. Today's hearing is open to everyone. It's at the Illinois Fall Creek Center on Ivy Tech's Indianapolis campus beginning at 2 o'clock. Police in Florida say a 4th person is in custody in connection with a Hollywood Beach mass shooting. Investigators say officers made the arrest yesterday but are still looking for one more person. As we've reported, the Memorial Day shooting left 9 people hurt in an argument between 2 groups. Police say 7 of the 9 victims have been released from the hospital. Today, federal investigators will arrive at the site of a fatal plane crash that U.S. fighter jets tried to intercept. The jet's extraordinary speed caused the sonic boom across the Washington, D.C. region. The NTSB says it will document the scene and examine the aircraft. The FAA says the Cessna plane left the Elizabethtown, Tennessee airport yesterday for Long Island with 4 people on board. It says a pilot unexplainably turned around over Long Island, then flew a straight path down over D.C. before crashing into mountains in Virginia. The military scrambled F-16 fighter jets to make contact with the pilot, who did not respond. State police say they'll identify the plane's passengers when the information becomes available.
The reason that we got in when we did is I didn't care who else was getting in. I didn't care what other issues were at play. We've got a country to save. And that's all I was thinking about. It is time for a new generational leader.
Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is hitting the campaign trail. The former United Nations ambassador and South Carolina governor participated in a CNN town hall last night. Haley criticized her former boss and fellow presidential contender, former President Donald Trump, for his actions on January 6th. She called it wrong for him to defend his supporters that day. She also called Florida Governor Ron DeSantis a hypocrite for spending taxpayer dollars on his legal dispute with Disney. In one major moment, Haley showed support for U.S. efforts to help Ukraine in its war with Russia. The comments mark a sharp difference from Trump's stance.
Ukraine has the ability to win, but we have to think bigger than that. And for them to sit there and say that this is a territorial dispute, that's just not the case. To say that we should stay neutral, it is in the best interest of America. It's in the best interest of our national security for Ukraine to win. We have to see this through. We have to finish it.
And on the war in Ukraine, another Republican candidate for president is calling for an end to U.S. military support. Author Vivek Ramaswamy explained how it could happen and how it could help the U.S. on yesterday's ABC This Week.
I don't trust Putin, but I do trust Putin to follow his self-interest. I don't think he enjoys being the little brother in the relationship with Xi Jinping. And so what I think we need to do is end the Ukraine war on peaceful terms that, yes, do make some major concessions to Russia, including freezing the current lines of control in a Korean War-style armistice agreement.
Ukraine really wouldn't want to do.
Which Ukraine wouldn't want to do. And also a permanent commitment not to allow Ukraine to enter NATO. But in return, Russia has to leave its treaty and its joint military agreement with China. That better advances American interests and actually further deters China from going after Taiwan, which I think is a much higher priority for the United States.
Let me ask.
Ramaswamy has referred to himself as an outsider in next year's race, a position he says will help him earn the party's nomination. And happening today, the UND Greyhounds will look to stave off elimination in the NCAA Division II Baseball Championship. The team lost 6-5 Saturday night against Millersville. That sets up an elimination game today against Cal State San Bernardino. First pitch is at 1:30 this afternoon. The Indiana Hoosiers are in an elimination game tonight, looking to punch their ticket to next weekend's Super Regionals. IU lost to Kentucky yesterday in the Lexington Regional 16-6. The two teams will meet again tonight in a winner-take-all game at 6 o'clock. Indiana State is moving on to the Super Regionals after winning all 3 games at its regionals, most recently beating Iowa again yesterday. ISU will now play the winner of the Fayetteville Regional between Arkansas and TCU. Ball State's spectacular season has come to an end. In case you missed it, West Virginia eliminated the Cardinals Saturday 13-5. Ball State finished the season with a 36-23 record, making the NCAA Regionals for the first time since 2006. All right, Alex Palou gets his second win this season, growing his lead in the IndyCar Series. Palou started on the pole for the second straight race at yesterday's Detroit Grand Prix. Just like the Indy 500, a lot of contact was made throughout the race, including right out of the gate. Callum Ilott hit the back of Kyle Kirkwood's car right after the green flag drops. That ended Ilott's day. With 10 laps to go, Will Power had a chance to get around Palou for the lead, but he and Scott Dixon hit. Palou pulled away after the 7th yellow flag. Drivers will be back on the track in about 2 weeks on the 18th during the Sancio Grand Prix at Road America. To business headlines now. The new Barbie movie required so much pink paint for its sets that there is actually an international shortage. The set, which was built on the Warner Brothers Studios lot outside London, includes all of the iconic elements of Barbie's dream house, which was very pink. Nearly 4,000 people in the U.S. lost their jobs in May because of AI. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas said that U.S. employers cited AI as the reason for 3,900 layoffs, which is roughly 4.9% of May's job cuts. Amazon is reportedly trying to offer Prime subscribers free cell phone service. Bloomberg reports the company is apparently talking with all of the major U.S. carriers about a potential partnership. So far, there are no details on what Amazon's service might look like, whether it would offer the same level of service as you get now. Saudi Arabia said Sunday it would cut 1 million barrels of oil a day as part of a deal between OPEC and its allies. The move is sending oil prices up 2% overnight and could drive prices at the pump higher just as we enter the summer driving season. In a recent Alliance poll, 61% of Americans said they were more afraid of running out of money than they were of death itself. 59% said they had no idea how they were going to pay for their health care costs in retirement. The biggest regret in all generations is not saving enough for retirement, while fewer than 1 in 3 said they wish they had spent more money on activities or experiences. Finally, Wish TV is proud to once again partner with Second Helpings for the Great Pasta Push. We're collecting pasta and money to feed Hoosier families. Second Helpings uses an average of 1,000 pounds of pasta every week. They're asking for elbow macaroni and other smaller pastas. You can find the full list of drop-off addresses and a link to donate money if you prefer right now on wishtv.com. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.